Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Centurion Leadership Battalion podcast, your source of accountability, inspiration, and motivation to become your best and reach your fullest potential every day. Our motto, it's simple: to use our determination to crush our everyday leadership tasks so that we dominate in our delivery of services and products to our clients and achieve victory and personal growth, profitability, and creating environments for those around us to prosper. Let's get this show started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Centurion Leadership Battalion podcast. This is your host, Alaina, and we have Justin on with us, and I'm sure you can guess we're back with another Q&A episode for you today. Just want to say thank you to all of our listeners who have been downloading, sharing, subscribing. We greatly appreciate that. And don't forget that you can always connect with us over on social media, on Facebook or on Instagram at Centurion Leadership Battalion. We have content coming out there. We can also take any DMs and requests for questions or feedback from myself or from Justin. We would love to connect with you there. So our question for today, before I let Justin hop in the conversation, is what is the importance of seeking your own fullest potential in leadership?
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Alaina, for introducing me. I love the question. And actually, as Alaina was looking over the questions before we recorded, this one stuck out pretty hard just because I'm dealing with it particularly right now and in our locations and in the world, and trying to train new managers and bringing new interns and college students into the business, and the realization that we really don't develop and concentrate on, while we educate children and we do things, we're not developing their potential fully. And we're very stuck in how good they are in their grades and things like that. But what's the potential of the human? And I think certainly there are certain people that really invest in their children and see the potential, and they become Selenas of the world or the Cristiano Ronaldos, and there's that effort. They identify the potential, they invest in it, and there's probably some will on the child's part that takes place in drive as well, and how it got there, both nurture and nature most likely. But I think the importance of living up to your fullest potential as a leader is, it doesn't matter if you're born with your potential. It doesn't matter if you weren't given it in childhood. Ability, you can choose at any time to try to seek or improve it or have better potential in life or live up to your fullest potential. So what does that mean? It doesn't matter if I go look back and I'm like, oh God, I can't live up to my fullest potential because I messed up the last 42 years. It's really not going to work if you have that mindset. And it's not true. It's just your fullest potential starts whenever you decide to pursue it. And it stays there so long as you have the habits to continue to pursue it every day. And that's the thing, whether it's a skill, whether it's a leadership thing, whether it's temporary habits that are trying to get you to a bigger goal and you align tactically, as we talked about in the last episode, aligning together habits tactically that get you somewhere strategically that you want, where you want to go. But all those things, every step should be trying to live up to your potential. And so what is that? I mean, I don't think we know always. I don't think, as a person that's always been conscious of seeking my potential, that I ever thought I would be on a podcast, right? It's not like I thought that that's where my potential would start to go. Maybe my potential's not here. Maybe I suck at it. I doubt it based on all the downloads. But if I continue to do it, I can only see where the potential takes me. So regardless of if I'm poor at something or I'm average or whatever we've talked about, fighting mediocrity is the pursuit of potential also. And so what is my potential? I honestly, even today, I don't know what it is, but I do know that I constantly improve it. I constantly improve the things that I'm able to accomplish. I do know that even though through major mistakes, I learn great lessons. And sometimes even in seeking my potential and exposing myself to more, I make larger mistakes or I expose more weaknesses in myself. But it's all towards that potential. And if I don't seek it, I'm robbing the world of it, really. I'm robbing my fellow man of it. I'm robbing my children of it. I'm robbing my future generations of it. I'm robbing the animals of the planet of it, if that's my potential to involve them. Whatever it is I'm choosing not to do, I'm not giving it to the world. I'm wasting it. And what could it be? It could be anything you want. And if more of us lived up to it and we were around more people pursuing the same thing, which is living up to our potential, we could keep moving things greatly. Maybe not in such a negative fashion, but in a great fashion. Because if we believe in our potential, we have to believe in positivity. If I'm hacking away at myself, if I'm letting the inner bully win, if I'm, inner bitch voice taking over, it's not positivity. You can't live to your potential. So while it's hard and you should be self-reflective and critical, I don't think it's to the point of harming yourself so bad that you can't pursue your potential. It's a hard word, and it's an interesting abstract thought that can have very tangible effects over a lifetime and accomplishments. But the reality is trying to live up to your potential at the beginning is very abstract, and there's very little reward, if any. And even 42 years later in my life, and I'm pretty focused on my potential, I still am not where I want to be. And I still have made mistakes and things that have done it. And some people learn faster than others, some people don't. But what I do know, and what I think every leader knows, is that it's not all, once you realize that it's about living up to your fullest potential, it's also about how do you harness, motivate, and inspire people to live up to their fullest potential. I don't have a talent for much. Not the smartest person in the room for sure. Not the best education. But I certainly am willing to go through comfort and hardship and have hard conversations to get to where I need to go and live up to my potential. And I'm also willing to do it with people when I believe that they're not living up to their potential. I get to do that. You work for me, I pay you. Part of the job is you are part of working for Food Service Partners or Better with Bacon Fat or Primal Rock or Grown Strong is you need to be constantly pursuing living up to your fullest potential. And that doesn't mean you need to raise up in your job if you're comfortable where you are. It just means you need to be constantly pursuing being better, improving the people around you, and improving the company, generating more value. Those are all things that generate more potential for you. When you generate more value for you, you generate more potential for yourself. And so I don't know how else to put it other than that if you focus on it and you focus on what my potential could be and the value along the way that's generated in the pursuit of that, that value is what pays dividends. That value is what makes the difference of you being poor and rich. And it's also in the authenticity and vulnerability in which you do it, which is all part of the core values. But your potential is also your ability to be honest with yourself and what you want and what you're willing to do to get it. And understanding that there is going to be collateral damage. It is unfortunate and it happens, but not all people are on the potential journey. And most people are on the journey to be normal and be liked and be accepted and be appreciated for being normal. So, I mean, that's the thing that we have to talk about. And as leaders, we need to think about. So, what are your thoughts, Alaina? How do you view potential?
I think that's all really interesting. And I think, when the question says, what is the importance of seeking your own fullest potential? It just makes me think of so often, I mean, the question specifically asks in leadership. So that's the way that I thought about it. And I think when you are in a position of leading or of leadership, whether that's in your business or your own company or leading a team at a company that you work for, even in your own household as a leader, I think when you're seeking your own fullest potential, there's that quote that everyone says, and it's probably on a million different social media posts, but it's, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I think that's so true about self-care in general, but also about seeking your potential, because if you're not growing and you're not seeking your own fullest potential, how are you going to lead others effectively? And how are you going to encourage other people to go for, their best and reach for more and set big goals when you're not doing that yourself? And I think that's the importance of seeking your own potential is, it makes you a better leader. It makes you lead by example, which is so important, because why would anyone want a personal trainer, who goes to McDonald's for dinner every day? Why would anyone want, a leader who doesn't do any personal development? It's leading by example, and you can do that by really seeking your own potential in all areas of life.
I agree, and I think that what you said is so important, is that if you're not modeling it, you can't expect other people to live that way. And like this episode, honestly, it's really to this point. It's this simple. It's like when I used to coach girls and boys soccer, and the parent would come up to me and not understand, and it somehow was my fault, why their kid wasn't doing better, or why their kid wasn't playing, or why their kid wasn't improving. And it's like, are you doing the homework? Are you doing the tasks? Are you spending time with it? What are you modeling? So if the father's coming home at night from work, throwing off his shoes, sitting on the couch, not helping around the home, not doing anything to help the kid improve, not helping the wife with anything at home, it's pretty unlikely the kid's going to have the skills to lead up to any potential if it's not being modeled at home. That's just the truth. And fortunately for us, there's mentors and podcasts and stuff like that where you don't need to only rely on your parents to live up to your potential. So, I mean, that would be the thing, is if you want to live up to it, and you want your kids to live up to their potential, you have to model it. And if you're not going to do it, you better ensure you put people into their life that are going to do it for them. Because it's unfortunate that we can't live up to our full potential, and therefore we can't teach our children how to live up to their full potential. And I get it. Everyone's proud, and we go get big degrees, and we go work for the big man, and and we're value these big company names and all the degrees. But what is really the potential of a human, and what is it really that we're accomplishing by the time we retire? And being in the business of food for long-term care homes and hospitals, and having a lot of early conversations in my life, every time I talk to someone, they regret they didn't do more. They didn't realize how much they had. They didn't realize how much time they wasted on irrelevant friendships and relationships. And they regret not doing more with the power they realized they didn't have until it was too late. And they realized they cared about people's opinions way too much, because in the end, it didn't really matter. So, like, those are the barriers we need to break down. And people are the obstacles of your potential. And so are you yourself. So people's negativity, people's own insecurities, they're the obstacles of your potential. And the voices that are not yours in your head, that aren't you, that don't think you can achieve anything you want to, those are the obstacles also. So I think that's a pretty abrupt episode just because it's pretty straightforward. Get rid of the negativity in your life, start putting positivity in your life, and put people in your life in that positivity that are developing their potential. And it is contagious. Believe me, there's a reason I am in the Arete Syndicate. It's because I am pushing myself to my fullest potential as an entrepreneur. Because I needed hundreds of other entrepreneurs that were doing the same thing. That were high achievers, high performers, highly driven individuals that wanted to make big differences and not only make money. So what is our potential? It's not only what's our job is, it's not only raising our kids, it's not only going to work, it's what we do with all of it and the message and the character that we develop, that we leave behind, and the character we develop in other people and other people's ability to live up to their potential. So I will let Alaina close it out with her thoughts, but I think that was a good one. So thank you, Alaina.
I think that was an awesome conversation. And like we shared before, if you're looking for more ways to reach your potential and just to develop more in the area of leadership or just overall life, we have so many other episodes here on our podcast. If this is your first one, I would love to have you go back and listen to some other episodes or check out our social media like I shared before, and really just dive into this self-development and just learning that in order to really support those around you, you need to be developing yourself first. And that does not make you selfish. It makes you a better leader. So I would just suggest doing all of those things, and send us any DMs or any questions that you may have for us to cover on the podcast, or any other questions about leadership you would like for us to answer. And we will talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.